Here is the rewritten version in English with completely changed wording. Same structure, same length, same events, same emotions, and male narrator voice. All words are different to avoid any copyright-type similarity while keeping the real meaning and flow intact. My wife has grown extremely close to a male colleague from her workplace. They message each other constantly and collaborate on projects all the time. Although I trust her completely and don't believe anything improper is occurring, the depth of their connection is making me feel envious and uneasy. I'm 34M, my wife is 31F. We've been together for 9 years, married for 6, and we've weathered many storms side by side. In all these years, she has never once given me any reason to doubt her loyalty, neither physically nor emotionally. She's an incredible mother, and we split household responsibilities very fairly. Like every couple, we have our arguments and rough patches, but we always find our way back to each other. Here's the current situation. She recently started her master's program. In her batch of roughly 80 students, there are only 2 women, and she's the only one from our cultural background. The university and program are extremely diverse and international. She has made many new male friends, and honestly most of them don't bother me at all. But there is this one guy, around 32M, whose friendship with her makes me uncomfortable, even though I know I'm probably being irrational. They text each other throughout the day, multiple messages daily. She's completely open about it. She never hides her phone or acts secretive. His name is always visible when notifications come. She constantly talks about how wonderful he is, the interesting projects he's worked on, and all the impressive things about him. Lately, they've decided to team up for a research paper that they plan to present at a conference in 2026, which means they'll be spending even more time together. Honestly, I'm tired of constantly hearing how great and talented this other man is. He also frustrates her sometimes. He can be hot and cold when he thinks she's done something wrong, probably cultural misunderstandings, and she talks about those moments too. It feels strangely similar to hearing someone describe the excitement and complications of a brand new romantic relationship, except it's my wife experiencing it with someone else. I genuinely don't think it's anything more than friendship. When I told her that the constant messaging didn't feel appropriate to me, and asked whether she'd be comfortable if I were texting another woman this frequently, she immediately offered to let me read their entire chat history. I didn't take her up on it, so I'm pretty sure nothing is being hidden. I told her I would let it go because I don't want her to start being secretive about their friendship. But every time his name appears on her phone, I still get this pang of irritation and jealousy. I don't even think she's physically attracted to him. Our physical relationship is still strong, and that's not where my insecurity lies. I think it's more that he's fresh, exciting, and they share many interests. Sometimes I worry that I've become boring or predictable, and maybe she'd rather talk to him than to me. I'm just not accustomed to her having close male friends, although she had several when we first met, and this new situation is really challenging for me. Any suggestions on how I can move past these feelings and genuinely accept this friendship as it is? Top relevant comments, paraphrased. Commenter 1. It seems your real worry is that this guy is giving her a kind of emotional excitement and novelty that you're not providing right now. Instead of trying to limit their friendship, focus on bringing fresh energy back into your marriage. Have an honest conversation about how you're feeling and what would help you feel more secure. Time spent with friends, in person or texting, shouldn't consistently outweigh the time and attention you give your marriage. Start dating each other again, new restaurants, weekend trips, shared hobbies, anything different from routine. Create special rituals, weekly date nights, evening walks, coffee mornings, just the two of you, no talk about kids or chores. If he ever starts resisting these efforts or is distracted by messages during your time together, then you'd have real cause for concern. Right now, it doesn't sound like your marriage is in danger, especially since she's being so open. But your relationship could definitely use some renewed spark. Reply, this advice really resonates. Thank you, we've been trying to go out more lately because we both realize how easy it is to lose sight of each other with work, kids, and everything else. We need to make it more consistent. We actually have a proper date night scheduled in a couple weeks, babysitter booked and everything, and we managed a daytime date recently too. It's happening, but we should definitely do it more often. Thanks again. Commenter 2, 8 years ago, I was exactly where you are. I told myself I was just insecure, especially since the other woman was married with a young child the same age as ours, and her husband sometimes joined their hangouts. I stayed relaxed, never checked his phone, never tried to control anything. They ended up cheating on both of us and have been together ever since. It was incredibly painful, but for my child's sake, I eventually forgave, and we are now respectful co-parents. My personal advice, don't ignore potential red flags. Have a very open conversation about how this friendship affects you. If he truly values you as his priority, he'll make adjustments to help you feel safe. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. I truly hope your story has a completely different ending. Commenter 3, you're getting a lot of advice from people who see emotional affairs everywhere. Let's look at the other side for a moment. If he was trying to replace you emotionally or hide anything inappropriate, he wouldn't be this open about the friendship. It sounds like he's actually trying to include you because he's excited about this new connection and wants you to feel comfortable with it. That doesn't mean you stop watching for warning signs, but it does mean you should examine what's really bothering you and address that directly. Your fear seems to be that he might find someone better. When that's the case, the answer is almost always to invest in your own relationship. Remember why he chose you. He hasn't forgotten those reasons. Don't let yourself forget them either. Be confident in what you bring to the table. Reply, this feels like the most balanced take. Invest in your own garden is exactly the reminder I needed. And yes, if anything inappropriate was happening, he wouldn't be so open about everything. Update 3 weeks later. This won't be a dramatic update, probably not very interesting, but some people asked for one. We've had several calm conversations about his friend. He understood my feelings, but was also a bit hurt because he's never given me any reason to doubt his faithfulness in all these years. I believed him, but he suggested it might help if I actually met the guy, and I agreed. Last night we had some friends over for my birthday. He came too. The gift he brought was a custom digital portrait of our entire family, me, my wife, both kids, even the dog. He's a bit of an amateur graphic designer, and it turned out beautifully. What struck me most was that he deliberately included all of us. It felt very respectful of our marriage. He was polite and respectful the whole evening. We actually discovered we have several shared interests. We've both done scuba diving and care about ocean conservation. He just seemed like a genuinely decent person, not fake at all. His presence felt similar to my wife's other male friend who was also there. After meeting him, I no longer feel worried about anything inappropriate developing. I also don't believe anything questionable has happened so far. This morning I happened to see part of their chat. He was telling her how nice and cool I seemed, and she was agreeing and saying how lucky she feels. That conversation wasn't meant for my eyes. It was just normal chat that happened to include the Japanese curry I cooked last night. I know some people on Reddit will say I'm being naive, but after actually meeting him, the whole thing feels completely innocent now. Apart from this, we've had some other normal relationship discussions and agreed to have one intentional at-home date night every week. We dress up a bit, make an effort for each other. Do something fun instead of just being in parent mode all the time. We're also both working on ourselves, better food choices, more exercise, giving each other proper personal time away from the kids more regularly. Many people suggested we should invest more in our relationship and in ourselves. I feel like we're actually doing that now. I'm optimistic that 2026 can be a stronger year for us.